Police have thanked villagers in Warwickshire who took matters into their own hands when they saw two men fly tipping near Meriden. The men were seen throwing black bin bags and pipes onto the road, but residents blockaded them with their vehicles and phoned the police to prevent them fleeing the scene. As Joe Black now reports.
Caught in the act, piles of rubbish dumped on a country lane in Warwickshire. When fly tipping was suspected, local families were prompted to take matters into their own hands. Adam Beattie, a farmer, was first to arrive.
I whipped up there in the pickup to find a large transit van, a high-sided transit van. He was just emptying the last of his rubbish out, actually. He saw me, jumped out of the vehicle, or jumped out of the back of the vehicle. He was quite abusive to me initially, and then my son came up in a pickup behind me, and he went quiet, then jumped in the van, tried to turn around to speed off, initially got stuck. So his friend who was there in another van jumped out, had to push him out. And then they sped off up this track. After chasing them up a farm track for around about a mile, I would think, we managed to block them in. The gamekeeper and my brother came in from the other end, wouldn't let the vans pass, and we blocked them in.
The police were called and say they told the fly tippers to reload the waste back into their vans. 90 minutes later, the vans were then seized and two men placed under investigation.
The incident we saw on Wednesday was significant in the fact that we had two full Sprinter vans worth of goods disposed on the side of the road in a careless manner that ultimately put other road users at risk. The refuse was just dumped at the side of the road in a careless way that has just left people having to pick up the pieces. Luckily on this occasion, the farmers were there and able to stop them, but on a lot of occasions we don't see that, and it can have such a large impact on the rural communities. So I commend their efforts and would thank them for the work that they did.
Although a significant problem in Warwickshire, fly tipping also blights many of our urban and rural spaces across the country. The latest figures released from DEFRA show between 2022 and 2023, local councils dealt with 1.08 million fly tipping incidents, a slight decrease of 1% from the year before. But these figures only show part of the problem because they relate to public land. Any rubbish dumped on private land becomes the problem of that landowner, who usually has to cover the cost of clearing it away.
It makes me livid, to be honest, livid. I can guarantee that at least once a week we will get an issue with fly tipping, no matter whether it be one bin bag, some tyres, drug paraphernalia. We get lots of marijuana plants and the rubbish that comes with them dumped out, the metal piping. We get lots of builders' waste where possibly bathrooms, kitchens have been done out. We'll get the empty baths, we'll get mattresses, we'll get bin bags full of babies' nappies. We get everything.
Warwickshire Police says this incident was some of the worst fly tipping its officers had seen in a long time. It also says people concerned about fly tipping should not put themselves at risk and call the police, because offenders sometimes dispose of hazardous waste, and that could be dangerous. Joe Black, BBC News.